Welcome, dear one, to this moment of stillness, peace, looking inside, courageous enough to face our demons and all the things that still trouble us without fear, together, now, so that we overcome them. Our true self does not suffer, fear, or experience loneliness. It is absolute divine being. We call it different names in different traditions. True self, Brahman, pure consciousness, and many others. But when we appear in this human form, we all are under the spell of Maya, this illusion that we are mortal and separate. And this leads to a lot of suffering, because life from this perspective is very precarious. Things can happen to our body. We all age, and one day this body will leave. But even life is challenging when we perceive it as a random construct, where you either are lucky to have a lot of money and live well or not. And it all depends on such fragile concepts, where we happen to live, how many opportunities we get, and how well we play the game. And it is not a very holy game, let's be frank. You need to be shrewd and competitive to outplay everyone else. All this apparent darkness is needed. It is our own choice. So that one day we wake up and realize this is not what I really want and who I am. And when we receive this call from within, we are very fortunate. This is when all suffering will end. But it is a process. And often when we become more aware of and determined in our quest, it seems that suffering becomes more. Sometimes big disasters can strike. We can lose our job, our relationship, our belongings, things we worked for many, many years. And it seems like our whole world begins to crumble. Some refer to this as the dark night of the soul. But dear one, our true self can never crumble or be lost. It is the ego that is falling apart to reveal our true self. Our true self is eternal and absolute. It was here before all manifestation came. And nothing and no one can truly harm it. The closer we come to realizing this, the more life will test us. Not really life, but our own self. That is shedding all the things that we are not. Because as long as we identify with ego and we believe that we depend on all these things, we are not fully free. There is a time where we may see this, kind of. We know that we are not this body, and we may practice some form of meditation. But at the same time, we hang on to and identify with our ego person life. It is important to say that there is nothing wrong with any of these things. A job, a career, investments in this world, as long as we enjoy them. As we mature, our desire for awakening becomes stronger, and the less these things will satisfy us. This is why they fall away, because what we really want is to realize our true self, to find out what it is that can never be lost, is always here and always true. So let us do this now. Move from mind to actual experience. And it is very important, because mental knowledge alone is not enough. It may give us some solace, but unless it becomes our own authentic experience, it is not gonna last. So I invite you to not switch off the video now, thinking, this is a meditation, I can do this later. This is the mind speaking that tries to entangle us over and over again in its intricate ways of distraction, prolonging our journey of awakening. We can resist it, this urge to move and do something else. What else can be more important than your freedom? What is it about yourself that cannot leave, get less, or crumble? That is always here, always complete. You may wish to close your eyes to really look inside. We sometimes describe it as a witness that can observe thoughts, feelings, experiences without the need to identify. This creates a distance. So when fear happens, anger, restlessness, we can observe it with detachment, knowing that it is not what we are, simply an emotion that comes and goes. The same we can do with distracting thoughts. We can observe them with detachment as they come and go, like clouds in the sky. Who is observing them? Is it this body? It is more like an awareness or consciousness in the body. It can also observe and speak about this body with detachment, saying, this is my arm, my back, but not what I am. Who am I? What is this awareness? It has no shape, no form, no name. This name was given to us when we were born, but it was here before that. It has no beginning and no end. Who can report of the beginning or end of awareness? Therefore, it has no history. It is free from experience and time. When we turn our attention here, the climate inside of us begins to change. Something comes to rest, and there is peace. There is no need to explain this in the mind, because the mind cannot understand the self. It would be creating an obstacle. Sense it in your being. The more we allow ourselves to rest here, take the time perhaps in the morning and the evening, the more stable this recognition will become. And the more we will be naturally pulled here. This is how awakening happens. Taking the time, be still, and verify, who am I? I invite you to remain here longer and longer and over again, resisting the call of the mind and the distractions, because now your calling is higher and ego stands no chance. Remain here. All blessings are already with you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Share it with anyone else you think can benefit. And if you like, subscribe to my channel so we can stay connected. All my love to you.